We're going to copy it, go back to www.root, and paste it in. All right, now that this file is in here, let's switch over to our Windows 10 workstation to view this site. I've switched over to my Windows 10 workstation, and I've opened a web browser. Up here in the URL field, I need to specify the network server's address. So I start with http:// This tells the web browser that I want to use the HTTP protocol to access the web server. Then I need to type that server's address. In this case, I'll type my actual web server's IP address, which is 192.168.30.150. Okay. My web browser goes to the web server over the network and says, I need to access your content. The web server says, sure, here you go. Here's the default file that we saw just a minute ago. This is what we're looking at right now, and it's not a very useful file. There's not a lot of information in it, but it was delivered to my browser from the web server and lets me know that my web server is running and ready for content. Now, let's talk about print servers. A print server is simply printers that were added to Windows Server. Printer Manager, if you go to Tools and then Print Manager, you'll see the window where you manage printers. Print Management is available on Windows 10 Pro and Enterprise, but it's not available on Windows Home. Under Print Servers, we see our local server. This area doesn't have any printers added to it yet, so we need to add one. Right-click and select Add Printer. Searching the network for printers can take some time, and it doesn't always work, so we're going to enter the printer's IP address and click Next. The type of device will be TCP IP device, and the IP address will be 192.168.30.105. Click Next. Our printer is an HP printer, and typically, a universal HP printer driver works well with HP printers, as long as you don't have to use any special features. Install you might have to install drivers if they aren't pre-installed. HP Universal Printing PCL6 should be sufficient. Click Next. Let's name this HP LaserJet. Click Next again, and click Finish. Great, we have our printer all set up. The last thing to do is deploy it to our users. So, clicking and selecting Deploy with Group Policy is one way to give printer access to users. When we browse, we see some OUs in our domain. This one here is the OU for our users. If we select them, and here, you'll have to create a new policy object. It's just as easy to name this Printers. Now, there are two ways to go about this. You could apply it to the user, or you could apply it to the computer, depending on the organization's setup. A good example of a full computer setup would be that all computers in a certain area get this GPO over the printers nearby. If your organization is small and you only have a few printers, adding it to the users might be a better option, but this can vary. We're going to select the per user option since this OU only has users number. The Add button adds the printer to the list below. Once it's applied, it'll say that it succeeded. We can click OK to exit, and now, every time a user in that OU logs in, they'll receive this printer. Keep in mind that group policy does take some time to apply and may not be instant. Alright, we've looked at a web server